It's another beautiful day in the Pikes Peak region as the men, women, and children who call this special place home go about their lives. The quality of life here is what draws us, and the certainty that there's no other place quite like it makes us stay. Preserving the quality of life in our region is the driving force for those who serve the people of El Paso, Teller, and Park counties as elected officials and as members of the Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments.
We've really all pulled together as a region, and I think that Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments is one of those agencies that brings everyone to the same table to discuss, prioritize, make sure that we really take into consideration both urban and rural needs, and make sure that we take all those into the big picture as we prioritize various projects that can be anything from transportation, senior services, the challenges we face in disaster recovery, and certainly our water and air quality in the environment.
2012 was an outstanding year for the Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments, our member governments, and the citizens of the region. Key amongst those were secure funding for I-25 widening through the region. At long last, we're getting that project done. That'll be accomplished in the next year. We also developed online resources for seniors and the military community to make sure they had all the resources they need so they can get information and get services for their service members or the seniors that they know.
Eduardo Baller, a 22-year-old veteran of the Afghanistan War, felt overwhelmed when he returned to civilian life in 2012. Suffering from a spinal injury and post-traumatic stress disorder, the reality of his new life hit home hard.
They told us when to wake up, they told us when to eat, where to go, be here at this time, very little decision making on that. And plus we didn't have to pay bills and stuff like that. So.
But with the help of the Network of Care, a web-based, one-stop source of information customized to the needs of the military community in the Pikes Peak region, answers to a wide range of questions are a mouse click away. Since its launch, web traffic on the site has quadrupled, a sign that many other veterans have been helped too.
I wish I had it at the beginning when I was getting out of the military. And pretty much, it has everything, you could think of. Counseling, it has employment, it has your housing. Any question that you could think of, it pretty much has it there. And if you can't be answered, there are people that you can call and they'll be able to point you out in the right direction.
With the doubling of Fort Carson's population in just the last 7 years, Ppacg continues to work with the region's military leadership and local jurisdictions to address the effects of such rapid growth on the surrounding community.
We've been doing this for more than 6 years, trying to ensure that as Fort Carson has doubled in growth over the past 5 or 6 years, how we make sure that we address those needs both within the community and for Fort Carson, whether that's transportation needs, family needs, schools, childcare, and across the board.
Connecting need to resource for veterans, active military, and their families is the mission of the Peak Military Care Network. The region's leading behavioral health and social services providers have come together to develop innovative approaches to better serve our military community across a wide range of areas, including employment, housing, and education.
The task at hand is to truly raise the bar of collaboration and communication amongst all of our partner agencies in this community so that we can best serve those who have served this nation.
At a time when news stories regularly showcase the state of crumbling roads and bridges in other parts of the country, residents of the Pikes Peak region were greeted by a different headline. First approved by voters in 2004, the Pikes Peak Rural Transportation Authority, a 10-year sales tax to pay for transit, road, and bridge improvements in El Paso County, was given a resounding thumbs up by nearly 80% of voters.
Despite our reputation in this region of being tax adverse, we actually like good government is what the folks like, and I think we sometimes don't give our citizens enough credit when they go to the polls. And what they saw was that the RTA had done exactly what they said they would do during our first 8 years of operation. And so they said, good job, and overwhelmingly they approved another 10 years.
Citizens watched their investment of 1 cent on the dollar transform the transportation landscape of El Paso County with the completion of 25 major projects, including the Hancock Avenue Bridge.
We had a bridge that was in bad shape and also poorly designed in terms of visibility, and so it created dangerous intersections on both the north and the south side of the bridge.
In renewing the PPRTA, the voters seemed to respond not only to its track record of success, but also to the idea that they could be partners in the process of making our community better. Through its work to build a safe, efficient, and accessible transportation system for the Pikes Peak region, it can truly be said that Ppacg has touched the lives of most of the 640,000 people who call the area home.
One of the most frequent concerns I heard from constituents is government doesn't work together. They fight each other, they're not working for the overall good of the people. And so one of the emphases we've had over the last decade is working together to accomplish things. Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments has been a huge part of that. We've addressed regional transportation projects, and we've come together when there was a need.
With its regional approach to planning, Ppacg, in partnership with the 16 municipal and county governments that form its board, is able to leverage member government dues of $400,000 into $154 million worth of transportation projects each year. But not all of Ppacg's transportation work involves construction of bridges and roadways. For Lisa Wieland, it seemed like just another sweltering Saturday in June when she heard about the fire burning west of her Mountain Shadows home.
My son-in-law, who's a fire paramedic, called us and said, "Have you heard of this fire?" And we said yes, and he said, "That's much closer than you think." And I looked out the window, and it was literally behind this ridge.
As the weekend wore on and the fire exploded in scope and intensity, city and county agencies quickly mobilized resources to assist in Job 1, ensuring the safe evacuation of the residents at risk. And Ppacg was one of the resources tapped.
Most people think of us as just transportation planning geeks, but we also provide technical assistance to our member entities. In this case, we partnered with emergency planning agencies and completed a wildfire evacuation plan 9 months before the Waldo Canyon fire, so it was on the shelf and ready to go.
If they hadn't evacuated the areas that they did, this fire would have taken so many lives. Some people may have left on their own, but we looked to the experts to tell us what was going on.
The most destructive fire in Colorado history killed 2 people, destroyed 346 homes, and burned more than 18,000 acres. But in March 2013, 9 months after the fire began, Lisa finally went home. In collaboration with the business, government, academic, and nonprofit communities, Ppacg developed a blueprint for a clean, healthy, and economically robust future that showed that sustainability and economic development could work hand in hand. To educate the public about best practices already at work in our neighborhoods, Ppacg produced a video highlighting success stories like Bestway's Materials Recovery Program that uses recycling to turn trash into products, and Fort Carson's pioneering efforts to achieve net zero, or producing as much energy as it uses, by 2020.
Sustainability built on economics just makes sense for all of us. It gives us an opportunity to make our businesses more profitable and for us to conserve the natural resources that we have, and those two practices are very compatible.
Supporting caregivers of seniors and people with disabilities has long been a major focus of Ppacg's Area Agency on Aging. And in 2012, the program provided caregivers and computer-savvy seniors with a powerful new tool to help them navigate an ocean of information on everything from finding a physician to learning about the side effects of a medication. The launch of the Network of Care website couldn't come too soon for Laurel Ledford, who has a full plate caring for a father with dementia, a developmentally disabled son, and school-aged children.
I had to just make a million phone calls, look all over the internet, look all over the yellow pages, did not know what I was doing, had a million questions that were going unanswered. So it's just very valuable to have a one-stop place where you don't have to do all that work.
Helping seniors live independent lives also continued to be at the core of the Aging Program's mission in 2012, and through its many programs to help transport, teach, feed, inform, and take action, the numbers showed we did just that. As 2012 drew to a close, Ppacg's board turned its attention to a national issue with major regional implications. Across-the-board spending cuts to domestic and military programs, or sequestration, if Congress and the President fail to reach a budget compromise.
The current talks about fiscal cuts from a MEDAX approach is not the most cost-effective in the long run. And this organization, our main focus really is communicating that message and supporting those programs that, again, are proactive and save us money in the end.
We worked with the media to educate the public about what's at stake and asked our congressional delegation to carry the message to Washington. We are excited about what was accomplished for our community in 2012, but look forward to doing our part to make the Pikes Peak region an even better place to live in 2013.